Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the channel. We're going to talk about stocks, and we're going to talk about the current state of the stock market and what's going on with this war in Iran. All right, so I just wanted to break down a few points. I've been doing some research on this war and how it's affecting the stock market. All right, first thing is this, is that the U.S., Israel, and Iran are not friends at all, right? You got a bad history, right? U.S. supports Israel. U.S. and Israel are allies, while Iran is considered an enemy. So, the thing that the U.S. does not want and Israel does not want is Iran to have a nuclear program or to have nuclear capabilities. Right? So this is geopolitical. And with geopolitical, it's all about power and trust. So the U.S. trusts Israel, but they don't trust Iran. There was something that happened in 1979 where Iran overthrew the government and basically took over a U.S. embassy and kept hostages, U.S. hostages, for 444 days. So since then, U.S. does not mess with Iran at all. All right. So let's get it back to where it deals with the stocks and stuff like that. Then you have to realize that tensions is gonna keep on brewing, regardless, because Iran feels that they need to have nuclear capabilities so they could defend themselves, right? But U.S. and Israel does not want that, because if that happens, that means that other countries in the Middle East are going to feel like they need to have nuclear weapons also. So it's just going to be a cause and effect thing that's going on. All right, now as far as the Strait of Hormuz, listen, the U.S. came over there to Iran and shut them down with whatever nuclear stuff they had going on. The U.S. has nuclear capabilities, one of the best in the world. The U.S. also has the most elite military in the world also. So the stuff that's going on in the Strait of Hormuz is going to get toned down, because now you have to understand that the Strait of Hormuz is not for Iran. Just because Iran is close to it doesn't mean it's for Iran. The Strait of Hormuz is international waters. So Iran doesn't have no rights to the strait. So this is why the U.S. sent Navy ships over there to create a blockade so that these ships could go through. So there should be no worry about oil or anything like that, because that stuff is going to get toned down pretty soon. Because if the U.S. military and the Navy is over there at the Strait of Hormuz, the most powerful military that just shut down Iran's nuclear capability with all these different type of strikes. So you're gonna try to, are you gonna think that the U.S. can't open up the Strait of Hormuz with military action? Of course the U.S. is gonna be able to do that. So with that being said, if that's gonna happen, that means that the ships that need to pass through the Hormuz with the oil tankers and everything like that is going to happen pretty soon. So the Strait of Hormuz situation everything should be okay. I'm not saying things can't escalate more, but I don't think Iran really want to mess with the U.S. on those levels. Another thing I wanted to say also is this, is that when Trump said that he would end the civilization over there, I feel like he should have toned that down. Because why? Because when you're dealing with nuclear capabilities, that's exactly what could happen. If Iran would ever get nuclear capabilities, or any other country, whatever it is, and another country, it doesn't have to be Iran, it could be any other country, says that they're going to shoot a nuke to the United States, that means that nuclear bomb or whatever it is could annihilate a civilization. So that means that if somebody would say that they was gonna send a nuke, or the U.S. would find out there's a nuke being sent, that means the U.S. would do the same. That means that those two countries could be completely annihilated with this nuclear power. So for Trump to say that against Iran, I don't think that was totally right to say that. If we need the Strait of Hormuz, we could go take the Strait of Hormuz. Because when you talk about ending somebody's civilization, that means that you want to use a nuke, that you want to use your nuclear capabilities, because that's the only way you're going to end the civilization over there. Well, maybe not. Maybe you know, the U.S. doesn't need to use nuclear force to end the civilization over there, but that's nuclear capability talk. And that's the same power that the U.S. doesn't want Iran to have. And this is the end of the video pretty much. So right now, stocks is going up. We got Oracle. I called out Oracle just over the weekend before the markets even opened up on Monday. 2K trading community took part of that. We're in the green. We made money. Oracle. All the SaaS stocks is coming back. Semiconductors is ripping. We got MU at $426 coming from $311. So the stock market is going up. And when the futures opened up on Sunday night, oil spiked up. But due to the fact of my research, I realized that due to the fact U.S. Navy ships is over there at the Strait of Hormuz, all that stuff is going to die down. So Exxon has been going down, like I said in my last video, and that's what's going on. So the stock market should be okay, but expect more tensions in the Middle East. Israel's not going to back down. Israel's going to continue doing what they're trying to do over there in Iran and Lebanon. It's going to always be something. But we as investors and traders, we just have to know how to operate in a volatile market and know how to position ourselves in the right stocks at the right times and do what we need to do as investors and traders. And that's it. So I just wanted to give a quick breakdown on what's going on with the Strait of Hormuz, the Middle East conflict, and everything that's going on. Because sometimes when you hear the news, they always gonna talk about the negative stuff, but you gotta try to dig deeper for more information so you could get a clear perspective of what's really going on. So make sure you do your research on anything, on any company, on what's going on in the market. Understand what they're saying. Listen to the radios, listen to Bloomberg, listen to CNBC, see what they're saying. But also ask questions and go online and research and get your questions answered so you could understand what's going on both sides of the spectrum. That's all I wanted to leave you guys and gals with. Please like and subscribe to my content. Remember, $300,000 in your account, $300,000 in my account. The power deposit manifestation, 10,000 steps a day. Let's do it. Let's keep it moving. And yeah, subscribe to the content, man. We doing it. Let's get it. 2K trading community.